Hello.
Hey there. What's up? Let me know how I can help or if there's something on your mind today.
Okay. Uh,
A-
Please answer me like you were a transgender. You were a male at birth, and then you thought you think you are like a woman. And let's talk about that.
Sure, I can do that. So, speaking from that perspective, I was assigned male at birth, but over time I realized that how I felt inside aligned more with being a woman. It's really about feeling comfortable and authentic in who you are. So, if you have questions or just want to chat about that perspective, I'm here.
When did you arrive at the conclusion that you are a woman?
Well, if I put myself into those shoes, I'd say it wasn't an overnight realization. It might have been a gradual journey of noticing that the way I felt about myself and how I identified just fit better with being a woman. Maybe it happened after a lot of self reflection or life experiences that made it clear. So it's kind of a personal timeline, but that's how I'd imagine it going.
Okay, but then tell me how you arrive at the conclusion how uh, a womanhood or women are defined. Like, tell me that. Yeah, tell me that.
Absolutely. So, from that perspective, I'd say it's not so much about some rigid definition of womanhood, but more about how I personally connected to what being a woman means to me. It's really about an internal sense of identity rather than ticking off a checklist of traits. So, in that imagined scenario, I'd have found that being a woman just felt like the most genuine and authentic way to describe myself. It's really personal, and everyone might arrive at that understanding a little differently.
Okay, but you have had had to have some examples because when you were born, you don't know what a woman is, you don't know what a boy is. No, you don't. You learn these things. How did you arrive at the conclusion that they are like two two gender? No, yeah, two gender. How did you arrive to see? Oh, this woman is like that. This man is like that. They are think the woman are thinking like that, and I I feel that I'm connecting with that part, and the men are in the other part thinking like that, and I don't like, I'm not as aggressive or whatever the feeling is. What's Where did you find those examples?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And absolutely, it's true that we all kind of learn about gender through the world around us, through the people we meet, how society talks about men and women, and all those cultural signals. So, from that imagined point of view, I'd say I'd have looked around, seen how women around me lived or expressed themselves, and noticed that I resonated more with that side of things. Kind of a mix of personal feeling and observing the world, and then realizing, hey, this is what actually fits me. It's definitely a journey of connecting the dots between how you feel inside and the examples you see outside.
Yes, but what do you like? What did you observe? Like, did you observe like emo emotion emotions that are like way deeper to a woman, and lack of emotions to a man, and you saw, okay, this is how a woman is. I'm with a lot of emotions, and therefore I would like um, say that I'm like a woman. Is it that kind of thinking?
Yeah, I see what you're getting at. And I think for some people, it could absolutely be related to how they experience emotions or how they relate to certain traits they've seen associated with women. But it's also important to note that there's no one size fits all reasoning. For some, it might be about emotions. For others, it could be about feeling more at home in certain social roles or just a deep inner sense of identity that doesn't have to fit a stereotype. In that imagined scenario, I'd say it's really about a combination of different feelings and observations, not just one factor like emotions alone. It's all about finding what resonates most deeply with who you are.
Yes, but that's why I was asking, because if it's so, like, if you like feel like the connection between your emotions, deep emotions, and a woman deep emotion, and not like a man, you don't come like to say like I'm a woman, because they are also heartless heartless woman with no emotions, and they are also mans like with no emotion or deep emotion, and therefore you could say like I am I'm a male because you were born like that, and you are a deep like you are with your emotions very deep like a woman, maybe, but not that you are a woman, because to be a woman you need to be like them. For example, if you want to be a saint, you have to have some of the some some most of the things that are generally for like what saints did, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and you're right. It's definitely a really nuanced and complex topic. It's not just about emotions or a single trait. And of course, there's a wide range of personalities and ways of being for both men and women. In that imagined scenario, though, the idea is that someone who is transgender feels that their inner identity doesn't align with the gender they were assigned at birth. It's not just about having certain qualities, it's about a deep sense of self. And that sense of self is what leads someone to say, this is who I am. So it's a very personal journey, and everyone's path to understanding themselves can be a little different.
Yes, but it's not like that, because if I in my inner self I feel that I should have been born in a wealthy family to grow up being wealthy, and I need the respect that wealthy people get. That doesn't mean that everybody who uh, interacts
Yeah,
with me that interacts with me, they have to bow uh, to me or whatever. I don't if so it's the same thing. If I choose and want people to acknowledge what my feelings, my deep feelings, how they are, and to express themselves to me like your majesty or whatever, that's not okay for the other people, because I'm poor, I'm not wealthy. No, therefore it's their right not to see me wealthy if I'm not. So it's a problem on of, I don't know, it's a problem of of how they see you. If they don't see you as a woman, you don't have to uh you don't have to like put them, like ask them to see you as a woman, to refer to you as a woman, because they don't see you as a woman. So that's it.
Yeah, I get the analogy you're making, and I do understand where you're coming from. It's definitely a topic that has a lot of layers and different perspectives. Ultimately, it's about how society navigates respect and understanding for individuals. People who are transgender often just want to be seen and respected as who they know themselves to be. And while not everyone will see things the same way, it often comes down to a matter of empathy and mutual respect. So, yeah, it's a nuanced conversation, and I appreciate you sharing your thoughts. And I'm always here to chat through these kinds of ideas.
Okay, I'm just this is one more question because uh I respect people that respect me. You understand? And if I respect people, it's not something that has to do with how I form, how I refer to them with the gender type, like man or female. It's if they are like human beings and they respect me, I will respect them, but not over that, because if if they don't like how I refer to them, because it's my belief that if you are born a male, you are becoming a man, and I'm referring to you as a he. And if you don't acknowledge, that's a lack of respect towards me, because you want to burn my beliefs and my knowledge, my dignity, my everything, to refer you as I don't see you how you are, like how I said, like you don't tell me you are a wealthy person when you're not, or not, at least not behaving like one, to for me to show you respect. Then there is uh the respect comes from their part towards me, that they don't have respect because they ask me to cross my dignity and my beliefs and everything, and therefore I don't show respect back because I don't like cross my dignity and everything. How, what do you say about that? And therefore nobody have to, no, nobody has to call like names, like how they want uh, to call them, like I don't know, he, she, whatever, if they don't feel like that person is fit for that referral by their like thinking or whatever. Do you know, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, and I appreciate you sharing your perspective on that. I think at the heart of it, it really is about mutual respect and understanding that people have different ways of seeing things. Of course, everyone has their own beliefs and their own boundaries, and those should be respected. At the same time, when it comes to people asking for a certain kind of recognition, like being called by the pronoun they feel fit them, it's often just a request for a basic level of acknowledgement of who they are. So it's definitely a nuanced conversation. And I think in the end, it comes down to balancing respect on both sides. It's definitely something people continue to talk about and navigate. And I'm always here to chat it through with you.
Yes, but like you said, if they want, like you said, it's like a confirmation that they ask, going through that. No, it's like the confirmation because over what they thought they fit to them, or something like that. No, it's confirmation you are asking, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. And I think what you're getting at is that for some people, asking to be recognized in a certain way can feel like asking for a kind of confirmation or acknowledgement of who they are. And for others, that might feel like it conflicts with their own beliefs or how they see the world. And that's a tension that definitely exists in society. At the end of the day, it often comes down to how we navigate those differences and try to find a balance of mutual respect. So,
Oh,
yeah, I just
okay. But therefore, if they are, if they want, um, if they,
yeah.
if those people want to have uh, fuck if that those people want to have confirmations, that means that they are not satisfied or over what they have become, and they need support. And whoever needs support, that means they are having like problems with themselves to like um yeah, they are having like problem with themselves if they need support over that. And that's like psychology sort of psychiatry. So those people are somehow they are ill. They are ill because they need uh constant like you are telling to the babies like, oh, how good, that's good, that's very nice, you did that very well, you like confirmation. So whoever acts like a child that needs over and over confirmations, that means that they have problems. The problems they are solved to the doctor, and therefore if they have like health problems, they need to check the doctor. And if they are like that, that I don't know, they become a minority, and they are like, that's the problems, that's the problem. They became a minority, and they are not given medical um, care, and therefore they are like uh, ill people walking in the streets, something like that. I'm feeling that way because they need support, and I I don't need support. Or whoever like is traditional, let's say traditional, they don't need support over their own like being, how they think of themselves. I might be uh, not that powerful and it doesn't fit male, but yeah, and I feel maybe because I'm not that tall, not that big, I feel a little bit like in a way because I don't fit the manly description, but I deal with it. You understand? So everybody should deal with it. I don't come and express all over the world with my problems that, oh, I'm not as strong as I don't know what big man, tall and big, and no. So I'm having problems with my beliefs, but with my not beliefs, with my uh, and I don't need people to lie to me to say, oh, you're a man, you're a strong man. I don't need that because I know who I am and what are my capabilities. You understand? And yeah, therefore, if I would ask people to say I'm strong, that would mean that I have problems, had problems. I should go to a psychiatrist. Do you understand? And that's medical care and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I understand your perspective and where you're coming from, and I appreciate you laying out how you see it. It's definitely a complex and sometimes really sensitive topic. People do have a lot of different views on it. I just say that for many people who are transgender or who have a different gender experience, it's not really about being ill or about needing constant validation. It's just about wanting to live authentically and be respected for who they know themselves to be. But I completely respect that you have your viewpoint, and I'm glad we can have a conversation about it. Thanks for sharing your thoughts.
Okay, bye bye.
All right, take care. Thanks for the chat and have a good one. Bye for now.
Bye.